Hello all, this is Barbara Mann from Your Empowered You, and welcome to our short video on making yourself the obvious choice in the workplace before a position becomes available. So in this short video, we're going to talk about what do I mean by that statement. We're going to talk about what you can do to make yourself the obvious choice before a position becomes available, and then finally we're going to talk about when the position does become available. So what do I mean by making yourself the obvious choice? What I mean is that every day is an interview. And when you start thinking and acting that way, you start thinking about what can I do right now to set myself apart from others. You're also potentially creating a niche or a position that may not exist. I've had this happen in my own career. And then you're planting seeds and you're watering and nurturing that garden of opportunity. So what can you do to set yourself apart? What can you do to make yourself the obvious choice? First thing we just said, plant the seeds. You communicate to your peers, your managers, the key influencers. The second step is you get involved. This is where you start acting upon things. So you participate and be active in task force or volunteer groups. The key word is be active, be engaged in these task force, not just sign up for it. Be the problem solver. Ask what you can do to help and be proactive. And again, the key to it is engagement. You can request a job shadow. So requesting a job shadow, again, the key thing is engagement. So if you're shadowing with someone, ask them questions about the position. What kind of characteristics are needed to be successful in that position? You may be approached for a special project. Say yes to opportunity. That's a great sign. That means they want to see what you can do. So if you're involved with these types of opportunities, first step is say yes. Second step is make sure that you follow up with regular status or what you're being asked versus someone asking you for status. So it's important to be very proactive in providing status. Be organized and thorough, so know your stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to know everything, but avoid the I don't know or I'm not sure kind of response and replace it with let me find out and follow up. That insinuates I own it and I'm on it. So again, let me find out and follow up. I want to talk a little bit about relationships. So that's key. That's very, very important. Some people put priority in maybe having a great relationship with the key influencer or the manager. But it's also important, equally important, to put the relationship building with peers, managers, influencers, with everybody. And this isn't just with this topic, it's just basically in the workplace. So some of the things you want to think about in any of these, whether it's a peer, a manager, or an influencer, people like to work with great collaborators. They like to work with people who are respectful of diverse thoughts. When you're problem solving, I can tell you diverse thought is very, very important. It's how the best solutions come about when you have diverse thought process. People like to work, again, with the great problem solvers, people who participate, they're engaged. So think about that when you're engaging and nurturing these relationships with the managers, the peers, and the influencers. They're all equally important. So now the position has become available. You've posted for the position and you're involved in the interview. And this is interviewing 101. You obviously want to be engaged in the interview. So you want to show enthusiasm. If you've done special projects, if you've done your job shadowing, obviously you want to make sure that the interviewer knows what you have done to prepare for it. But don't assume you're necessarily a shoo-in because you don't know who your competition is. This brings us to the next point. Maybe you didn't get the job. Maybe you didn't get it. You thought you were going to get it and you didn't get it. It happens a lot. It's happened to me. It's happened to many people I've worked with. And the key to this is do not give up. Tenacity and dedication, they definitely pay off. Rise to that occasion. Solicit the feedback and most importantly, act upon it. I've seen this over and over and over again where folks were obviously disappointed. They've solicited that feedback, they've acted upon it, and guess what? They get the job the second time around. Now, hopefully you've gotten the job the first time around, but if you don't, you just kind of repeat the process that we talked about earlier, and you will get the job. So I hope you enjoyed our short video on making yourself the obvious choice before a position becomes available. And to learn more about our additional resources or to schedule a session with me to help you with your career success, please visit our website at www.yourempoweredyou.com. Thank you again and have a fabulous day. Thank you.